Hey everybody, welcome back to My Wild and Wonderful. I had a random thought. It's kind of a chilly night, about 58 degrees, and I had the AC on. I've still got that one on. I'm going to turn it off in a minute. But I said, I'd like to have a nice warm fire. I got to work in the morning, so I think it'll be a long night. But, I've produced and shot a couple of videos called By the Fire, and I always start those videos off with one of the couple of different scenes of me using flint and steel to start a fire. And I thought, well, hey, you guys might want to know a little bit about that. So what I've got going on here is you have a piece of flint. It's a naturally occurring type of rock, okay? And you have a piece of carbon steel. It's called file steel. It's just been bent. It's carbon steel, not stainless, as in it will rust. If you can't tell there, it's got some rustiness on it, here and there. And you just take it and you strike it against this flint. Find a sharp edge and just make sparks with it. Okay, so a very important part to having a fire with flint and steel, a tinder bundle. This right here is just, all it is just freezer paper. It actually says 3 brats, okay, where I made my own deer bratwurst. And anyways, since I've used those bratwursts, I had the freezer paper, and I'll take some paper towels here that have been dried out from wiping counters down, so on and so forth. And there's several different things. Anything that's really dry that you would say, hey, that would catch fire really easy, will work for this, okay? This is just for all intents and purposes. For this video, I've got some dryer lint. Dryer lint works fantastic. Guys, keep your dryer lint for a fire starting material. It goes right inside with your tinder bundle, and it really helps get things ignited. It's a great additive. So you take your tinder bundle and make a bit of a nest out of it. So you kind of like a bird's nest there. And another very important part to this is char cloth. This is 100% cotton material from just a cotton t-shirt like this one that had been just dirty, old work shirt, whatever. Cut it up into little squares. Put it into a metal container, sealed, that then you have a lid for it, and you put a couple holes in it just so the gases can escape, where the flames or the fire can't touch. You can put it in the fire off to the side. You can put it in the oven at 550 degrees for a couple, 3 hours. This is actually an old musket cap tin, where it came with my musket caps for my Kentucky rifle. And I use that as a tinder box, and it works. So what you do is you take your char cloth, you put it right there, kind of line it up, almost even with the edge of your flint. You take your steel and strike it. And what you're trying to do is that right there. See that? You see how we caught some embers there? Now we have a bit of an ember started. You're going to lay that down inside of your tinder bundle. Kind of enclose it, keep it open on this end down here, so you still see the ember there. And blow on it to where it eventually will catch that super dry stuff on fire. And you can use that to add and catch everything else on fire and have your own campfire. Now we've got fire going there. And put some cardboard in there. Some old beer boxes from a party I had not too long ago. And just burn up some cardboard. Burning that cardboard also helps keep the creosote down in the chimney, so it serves all a great purpose. Now you can use a lighter and all that. But as soon as this thing gets wet, you dunk this thing like lighter part down into some water, and you just get like, you won't even get a spark. But right now, of course, dry, it works. But Flint and steel is always a surefire, guaranteed. It'll work. It'll start fire. I mean, just that paper and cardboard in there right now. It's getting kind of warm now. There you go. My Wild and Wonderful with starting a fire with flint and steel. And it's just a nice little mountain man trick, survival trick. Something a lot of people don't know how to do anymore. There's some people who do, and praise be to you who know how to do it still, because it's kind of a lost art to some people. So there you go. There's an informative video. I do have some other different things like ferrocerium rods that really create a spark. There's other ways of doing it, but that's about as primitive as I know how to do as of right now, aside of like using a bow and a friction style fire starting, which we'll cover that eventually. But for right now, we'll sign off with that. You guys have a great night.